Okay. The alteration of the past is necessary for two reasons, one of which is subsidiary and, so to speak, precautionary. The subsidiary reason is that the party member, like the proletarian, tolerates present-day conditions, partly because he has no standard of comparison. He must be cut off from the past, just as he must be cut off from foreign countries, because it is necessary for him to believe that he is better off than his ancestors, and that the average level of material comfort is constantly rising. But by far the more important reason for the readjustment of the past is the need to safeguard the infallibility of the party. It is not merely that speeches, statistics, and records of every kind must be constantly brought up to date in order to show that the predictions of the party were in all cases right. It is also that no change of doctrine or in political alignment can ever be admitted. For to change one's mind or even one's policy is a confession of weakness. If, for example, Eurasia or Eastasia, whichever it may be, is the enemy today, then that country must always have been the enemy, and if the facts say otherwise, then the facts must be altered. Thus, history is continuously rewritten. This day-to-day falsification of the past, carried out by the Ministry of Truth, is as necessary to the stability of the regime of the work of repression and espionage carried out by the Ministry of Love. So we have to constantly redo the facts, and I think we've talked about this before. Why do you constantly need to alter the facts of the past? And that's because if you alter the facts, then you've admitted that they weren't always correct, and if you admit that they weren't correct, then you admit that the party wasn't correct, and if you admit that the party wasn't correct, then the party is weaker now. So you have to you have to fix the facts so that they follow what the party has always said, and that's adorable, so that it matches up with what the party is currently saying. The mutual ability of the past is a central tenet of INCSOC. Past events, it is argued, have no objective existence, but survive only in written records and in human memories. And human memories can be altered, right? That's what doublethink is. It's altering your memories. The past is whatever the records and the memories agree upon, and since the party is in full control of all records and in equally full control of the minds of its members, it follows that the past is whatever the party chooses to make it. It also follows that though the past is unalterable, it never has been altered in any specific instance, for when it has been recreated in whatever shape is needed for the moment, then the new version is the past, and no different past can ever have existed. And so we see that when Winston, after he alters the stuff, he throws the old newspaper down into the memory hole, right? The memory hole which burns it, because that effectively erases that past, and whatever is left, whatever he fixed, whatever he changed, that is the new past. This holds good even when, as often happens, the same event has to be altered out of recognition several times in the course of a year. At all times the party is in possession of absolute truth, and clearly the absolute can never have been different from what it is now. It will be seen that the control of the past depends above all on the training of memory. To make sure that all written records agree with the orthodoxy of the moment is merely a mechanical act. But it is also necessary to remember that events have happened in the desired manner. And if it is necessary to rearrange one's memories or to tamper with written records, then it is necessary to forget that one has done so. The trick of doing this can be learned like any other mental technique. It is learned by the majority of party members, and certainly by all who are intelligent as well as orthodox. In old speak, it is called, quite frankly, reality control. In new speak, it is called doublethink, although doublethink comprises much else as well. Doublethink means the power of holding two contradictory beliefs in one's mind simultaneously and accepting both of them. The party intellectual knows in which direction his memories must be altered. He therefore knows that he is playing tricks with reality, but by the exercise of doublethink, he also satisfies himself that reality is not violated. Okay, let's go back to 2 + 2 = 5. So let's say right now we know 2 + 2 = 4. We've always known this. But tomorrow the government says 2 + 2 = 5. Always has been. Then by doublethink, you have to see these two things in your hand. 2 + 2 = 5 and 2 + 2 = 4. And you have to go, okay, I knew this, but now it's this, so I will accept this as truth, and now I have to go back in my memories and I have to alter every instance of this. But by altering every instance of 2 + 2 = 4, I am realizing that I am changing the facts, but I'm also okay with the idea that I am not changing the facts. So it's just accepting that you are changing something, but you are going to agree with yourself that you haven't changed anything. Which is it's a really difficult concept to understand. And I think this is a big part that's going to be really difficult. But I think doublethink is really just is that agreement with your private self that you will never admit that you altered anything, and that you will just accept whatever the party says. And that's as good as we can do right now. He's going to talk more about doublethink though, so we'll see if we can get some better examples from him. The process has to be conscious, or it would not be carried out with sufficient precision, but it also has to be unconscious, or it would bring with it a feeling of falsity and hence of guilt. Doublethink lies at the very heart of Inksong, since the essential act of the party is to use conscious deception while retaining to the firmness a purpose that goes with complete honesty, to tell deliberate lies while genuinely believing in them, to forget any fact that has become inconvenient, and then, when it becomes necessary again, to draw it back from oblivion, for just so long as it becomes needed, to deny the existence of objective reality, and all the while to take account of the reality which one denies. All this is just indispensably necessary. Okay, I thought of an example. I was reading that. Have you ever told a lie and you kept telling it and you kept telling the lie, and then after a while it kind of seemed like that lie was actually true? Even if maybe it was like a story and you were trying to like cover up for something, and then after a while of telling it, you actually believe that that's what happened, even if you know like that didn't happen, but you've told the lie so many times that you're starting to think, well, maybe that is what happened. That's doublethink. So after a while you forget that what actually happened and you accept the lie that you told. That's doublethink. Except doublethink here happens a lot faster. So doublethink doesn't happen after a long time. You don't begin to forget the memory, you immediately forget it. And you accept this new lie. Hope that helps maybe a little bit.